And welcome in. Happy Sunday fun day, everybody. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. I am one half of your host and virtual bartender, Mr. Nick Teodoro. Joining me, as always, is my tag team partner in life, my wife, Miss Nicole. What are you having, Nicole?
Oh, you know me, some Tito, some Art, some cranberry juice. Mr. Nick, I need you to tell the people what you're drinking and why we're here on this Sunday fun day.
I am drinking my J. Lore 7 Oaks Cabernet as per usual, as you'd like to say. Well, Nikki, in honor of today being the first few entrants in the Final Four of March Madness in the NCAA, we are doing our own NCAA bracket of March Madness, WrestleMania main events, the last match on each WrestleMania. We're going through it, and we're going to vote on it. Everyone's going to vote on it here. Your vote counts. Your vote matters. Today, on a very Sunday Fun Day special edition of the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
Gasoline and groceries, the list goes on and on. This 9 to 5 ain't working. Why the hell do I work so hard? I can't worry about my problems. I can't take them when I'm gone. 1, here comes the 2 to the 3 to the 4. Tell him bring another round when he's let it go. 2 stepping on the table, she don't need a dance floor. Oh my. Someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey. They know me and Jack Daniels got a history. There's a party downtown near Fifth Street. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy. Everybody at the bar getting tipsy.
And welcome back in, everybody. Happy Sunday Fun Day. Welcome to the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. If you are new here, welcome in. Smash the old Samoan spike on the like button. For us there. And welcome into our regulars. We love having you back. Nikki, it is a very, very special occasion.
Mm-hmm.
As we mentioned in the opening, it is WrestleMania Main Event Madness, but WrestleMania Madness nonetheless. We came up with this concept early. We did something similar last year of our favorite WrestleManias, but now we opened up a bracket of the final matches, the main events, and we're all going to vote on it. So let's take you through a little bit of what WrestleMania Madness is all about.
And I did promise our dear viewers, this is my second Macho Man shirt. So I'm ready. I'm pumped. We're doing this. I said, you're not wearing your Macho Man shirt.
No, I'm wearing an NWF.
But we're here. I'm excited. I have notes. I took notes, guys. I have 4 pages of notes. I'm not going to read all my notes, but I just want them to know this is serious business.
This is very serious.
You need to listen. You need to vote. I want to hear from all of you because it's not just me and him voting. We want to hear from all of you.
Especially all the regulars, all the newbies coming in, regular chiming with Josh. Welcome to the party, to the happy hour. So the rules are simple. We'll put it in the chat. I actually put the bracket into the link in the video, but let me see if I can get that link. Flop it in there. No, you said flop in there?
I said plop. You said flop.
Flop it all in there.
Get it.
So it's a little bit outdated to some extent because we had to, our show on Friday, the play-in round, we actually had a little bit of a clerical error on my part. So basically all the 4 participants from Friday show did, in fact, make it into the brackets. So, checking in.
This is going to be fun.
This is going to be a blast. We've got a lot to get to. So the rules are simple. We'll spend a couple of minutes on each round for each main event. It's the final match of particular WrestleMania. We use AI to help us out a little bit here to create this list. Just like March Madness, single elimination, pitted against each other until we have one. There can only be one.
But I'm not acknowledge the one.
So we only have one final that we agree upon or voted upon by everyone. It's the best main event match. I'm sure there will be a lot of.
This is gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to the debate.
I am excited. Well, Nikki,
let's
get right to it because we're gonna rip this Band-Aid off pretty effing quick. Because the first matchup, the number one seed, and oops, not them. That's not the one seed. What's the wrong one? The number one seed. Let me go down a little up. In this tournament, Nikki, was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock, WrestleMania 17, the big heel turn, where Stone Cold aligns with Vince McMahon. And the number 32 seed, believe it or not, ended up being WrestleMania 15, the original. Stone Cold versus The Rock. So, right out the gate.
Which one? Because I feel like this is I have notes. This is such a debate whether versus Rock Austin 1 is better than Rock Austin 2. I think the first one is such a quintessential Attitude Era match. They brawl all around. Again, all the announce table spots, it was a brawl. And I feel like on the second one, they took that and amped it up. I feel like it was a little more hard-hitting, a little more intense. But then does the heel turn ruin it for you? Or does it make it better for you?
It makes it more memorable.
Makes it more memorable. So, again, I guess this is like, this is going to be such personal preference. Like, is it going to be the build-up to a match? Is it going to be the actual match? Is it the storytelling, not necessarily the, the match itself, which I feel like early Manias and other stuff, we'll get to that. But it's just like, this is definitely very spectrum-y. So that's why it's going to be a fun debate. But I don't know. I kind of like one better. And I think I might be the lowest seed. But again, match.
Well, do you prefer the original? Like a lot of people say, like the sequels always work, but like in this case, like to me, the sequel was better. It's more memorable. Again, to everything that's happened. Obviously, there's the corporate chant on the original, but like, I don't know. You remember all their feuds over the years, so like their run and just like one of the all-time great rivalries, right? So like. How do you feel about, it wouldn't have happened, you have to be the first somewhere and like, they had to build upon it. So like you could make that argument. But if we're looking at just the surface of it, I'm going X7. That's my vote. Ladies and gentlemen, regulars in the chat, put it in the chat what your vote is. I know we had some write-ins, some absentee ballots from some regulars here.
I think it's just how
Joe said 17.
Okay. I think 17 is going to win. And I'm talking myself into 17, but it's just like everything that Austin was throwing at The Rock at the second one, like he wouldn't stay down. And he had to, I just feel like there was such the desperation of him that he had to get the chair from Vince. That's the only way that was going to put him down because he kicked out of everything else. So I don't know. I guess we can't eliminate the first seed in the first thing, so. But no, I think it's 17. Kids, what is everyone else saying? Joe hosts at 17.
Joe, in his ballot, in his regular ballot, wrote X7, 17.
Yeah. So
as of right now, I have X7. Do you have X7 too?
I will go X7.
There are three WrestleMania 17s. Steven's right in the chat. I love for Chance to pick the 32 seed, but I vote 17. Yeah, I know. Steven just wants to see the world burn.
Yeah.
So we got 4 votes. Let me update. You'll have to bear with me here, ladies and gents, as I'm Up
But again, I
and down.
just think again, go back and like it is iconic. Vince and Austin handshake, him getting so desperate for the belt to have the belt back that he, made a deal with the devil and got his belt back. And then I guess we could, we don't need to talk about all the things that happened after that and how it wasn't maybe the best idea to turn Austin, but again, iconic.
Yeah, again, to me, I guess like when you think about like your heart and things, it's the moment for me. Like I remember that more so than like Austin winning his first belt at 14. I remember at WrestleMania winning more than I remember. Like I know his feud with The Rock was great, but like I remember this as a moment with him and The Rock more than anything else. So Nikki, it looks as though WrestleMania 17 is moving on. So from The Rock to one of his cousins. Now we move into. Now let me get the seedings right here.
All the cousins, because
also want to let it know. I forgot to put it in the rules, but the tiebreaker, if for some reason we are 50-50 on votes, the tiebreaker will go to the higher seed. So in this case, now we're going to the middle round. I don't know how this is, but challenge.com. WrestleMania 39 is a 16 seed. Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, the first integration of them at WrestleMania, against WrestleMania 10, Bret Hart versus Yokozuna, where Bret Hart eventually wins the WWE title. That was during the whole Lex Luger, Bret Hart, the double elimination, one of my favorite Royal Rumble moments of all time. WrestleMania 39, Cody doesn't finish his story, solo Sikoa.
It's two different stories. Obviously, with Roman Cody, it was like Cody has to finish the story. He's going the baby face. It's got to go in, and he's got to finish the story for his dad. And then I guess it's kind of mirrored because then you have your big Samoan who's champion, and then your baby face is coming in. Like they both won. Maybe they work together. They both won the Royal Rumble again. Lex Luger did that here. Won the Royal Rumble, is challenging for the belt, getting their big WrestleMania moment. One succeeded, one didn't. Honestly, that WrestleMania, Owen Brett was such a good, amazing match. I told Nick next year we should do opening matches. He kind of scoffed at it, but
maybe we'll see. We can get that list together.
Everyone thought that he lost to Owen, then he wasn't going to beat Yoko. Oh no, Oko. I'm terrible at this.
Yoko Ono?
Yeah, I said that all on Friday. Yokozuna.
Yokozuna Ono.
Exactly. Someone mean that. But again, you have the big heel champion getting taken down, and then one getting beaten. So what's your babyface winning, your babyface losing? That's like again, it's very similar, just different outcomes.
Yeah, and there's obviously a lot of interference, a lot of craziness with the bloodline for WrestleMania 39.
I think
this one's kind of tough for me to decide. I guess that's why they're both in the middle seats.
Yeah,
because it's like kind of 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. So you're kind of.
I don't know, the story match, maybe even outcome, because again we had to break Cody down a little bit to rise up to win it at 40. I'm gonna go Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes. I think if this wasn't if Bret Yokozuna was not against this could have went farther. But for me, it's Roman Cody.
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree. Recency bias. Again, we talk about that all the time, but
I don't know.
But like to me, I remember more about because I wanted Lex Luger to win so badly in that WrestleMania year that I don't remember much about Bret winning. Just I was like so happy that Yokozuna wasn't the champion anymore. The big heel loses. So like to me, I think more memorable. And that's kind of how I'm voting. You can notice a trend in my voting here. So to me, I'm going 39. Audience, if you want to counteract that and you think WrestleMania 10, Bret Hart, Yokozuna was better.
I also because Yokozuna Brett. Do you remember Roddy Piper was a special guest referee?
Yes.
I put that in my notes. So it was like Brett's Mania moment. He won the Royal Rumble.
He's got Roman Cody.
Lost the match to Owen, and then guess Brett. Completely forgot that Piper was the guest ref. But I don't think it's recency bias, to be honest with you. I just think it's just a better match, a better story.
Ooh, Nikki, you know what we can do now?
What?
We can do a countdown on voting. We're going to do a 10-second count. Final votes. We have 3 in WrestleMania 39 in the interest of time because we have so many to get through, Nikki.
No, I'm sorry. I can.
No. This is what's fun. This is what makes it fun. We are recapping. It brings back memories for us all here. So if you have something different, let us know. But it seems as though.
Stephen, why'd you put a chicken? Are you saying you're a chicken for choosing it? Or I don't know what or
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that emoji is, Stephen.
a chicken head.
Chicken head. Yeah, I guess so.
And I don't know. I don't think you need the connotation of a chicken head there. We can go on to the next one.
All right. So 39. I'm just doing my admin work over here, clerical. So.
Oh. Got it. Our end is literally like a chicken head. Like the rubber chicken that was thrown because he choked. Got it. Steven, you're so smart.
Interesting.
You don't remember that someone threw the rubber chicken into the ring? Like he choked?
Oh, okay. Slightly, I don't know.
That picture was everywhere. That someone threw the rubber chicken in the ring and it was like laying next to Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Everything. But moving on, Nikki, to now our number 8 seed. It will be our number 8 seeded match, which is going to be WrestleMania 21, Batista, the end of Evolution, basically, versus Triple H versus the 25th seeded Night 2 WrestleMania 38, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar.
There's so many Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns on this. I don't think this is one of the good ones.
And John Cena when we get to it.
Yeah, I don't think this is one of the good ones between them. Obviously, it's when Roman beat Brock. He has the double champions. To me, the better story, better match, kind of better everything. I honestly prefer Batista Triple H. It was like he won the Royal Rumble. You know, talking about the double whoopsies, break all your quads. I think that him turning down, wanting to go to SmackDown, he wanted to stay on Raw to, to take the belt off Triple H. Like, I think the story is better. I think that I really love the spot when Triple H is going for the pedigree on the steps and he turns it and he sends Triple H into the ring post and he's gushing. I don't know, to me, honestly, 21 is more memorable. And again, Brock, Roman, get out of here.
Ironically, Brock and Roman's feuds kind of remind me a little bit of like in there. Like I don't really like them, but it's like kind of a little bit of a blur because they had so many matches that like I just remember the tractor was it, but it was SummerSlam that he did the tractor with the ring.
Yes.
Yeah. So like I was like thinking for a second, was this match and it wasn't this match. So like to me, yeah, like like just what I remember Batista and Triple H's feud. Like factions always help to further along a storyline. So to me, again, memorability. I can't say that word, but yeah, like I would agree. I think Triple H, Batista is more memorable to me. Let us know in the chat. We will put it up voting for another, let's say, 30 seconds. If you disagree, do you like WrestleMania 21 Batista, our number 8 seed, Batista versus Triple H? Or did you like WrestleMania 38 Night 2 Roman Brock?
No, I think 21 has a better build, better story, better match.
Steven says Drax.
Yeah,
Drax.
that's Batista.
Yeah. For a second, I didn't put it together. And we've been watching all those Marvel
Oh, yeah, you're
movies,
being so cryptic in your responses today, Steven.
I know. He's making me think too much.
Don't hurt his brain, Steven.
So it's 3 votes. As we wrap up here voting on this, let me update my end here.
Mm-hmm.
So far, the higher seeds dominating. No upsets yet. Nikki,
Sure will be. Yes, that will.
moving along. Cruising right along.
Ooh. This is a good one.
The number 9 seeded WrestleMania. Oh gosh. And 24. The XX is all these Roman numerals are killing me. And I feel so smart.
You are so smart.
24, The Undertaker versus Edge. Again, it's our 24 seed WrestleMania 18. Chris Jericho
Of course there are.
with Stephanie in his corner. Cut off a little bit here. Against Triple H.
Oh.
Triple H.
I want to like the Chris Jericho Triple H match more than I do. I think it was such a big thing that they put both belts in the undisputed champion on Chris Jericho. Then for some reason, this match became Stephanie versus Triple H, and Chris Jericho was just her proxy. I think because I can't find this one in my notes, but this followed a match that it couldn't follow, if I remember correctly. I'm looking for it in my notes. I don't want to hear you just me go.
Oh, The Rock.
This was Rock Hogan, right?
Yeah, which should have main
So
evented.
which should have main evented. Again, this was too much. Like he just seemed like not a. I don't know. I want to like this match, and it doesn't do anything for me. On the other hand, Edge Taker, it was like, not to steal his monikers, but he was being such a student of the game, doing his research, doing his homework on Taker. It's like, I'm gonna everything you got. I have a reversal. I have
Was
a
this one with Vicky too? Was that the same?
I don't remember.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
But this is the first time that the belt was on the line, and then not the first time the belt was on the line, but it was the first time that the Undertaker used Hell's Gate, because it's like Edge had a counter for everything.
So yes, he's with
Vicky.
Yes, because he had La Familia with Chavo, Hawkins, and Ryder. This is actually
I know the Edge had to come down and try to help. What you said, Ryder and Hawkins. But again, this is breaking out Hell's Gate. It's him, Triple H. I can talk today. Undertaker winning the belt. Like for me, this Edge Taker is more iconic.
Yeah.
Bigger spots, it has more of an impact. Better.
Poor Y2J.
I know it's too bad, but it's just like the crowd again, because you're post Rock Hogan, the crowd was dead. The biggest pop is when Triple H pedigreed Stephanie, and she almost came out that she should not. That outfit was not one cute or couldn't save her boobs.
Well, you know what? You know what, Nikki? You upset.
No.
You just made the list.
Either.
Say that again.
I don't think he liked this match either. Again, like they kind of did Jericho dirty with. It's like such a big moment. You got both belts. You're first undisputed. Blah 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 blah. And then you just became Stephanie's dog walker to fight with Triple H.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. My vote is the same. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got we'll give it 20 seconds left on the vote here. Put in the chat Edge and Taker or Jericho Triple H. Which match do you like better? We'll move along as we get there. Nikki, they're coming in fast. Steven says cope.
But no, between these two, I think I don't know. I wanted the other match to be better, and it just wasn't.
Yeah. So as we wrap up voting here, the favorite moves along, Nikki. So now we have two well, actually, we have the Elite. We have 4 matches now in the Elite 8. Very exciting. But we moving swiftly along to now. Our number 4 seeded triple threat match, which I know one of the listeners of the show, he's going to chime in at some point in time. Peter said this was one of his favorites. WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan. Wait, no, sorry. I think he said this was his favorite. No, sorry, I'm mistaken. Triple threat matches. Sorry, Peter. WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton versus Batista. No, actually, this was his favorite. The triple threat match, WrestleMania. Call it that.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the 29th seeded WrestleMania 33, Undertaker versus Roman Reigns, where Roman Reigns becomes the second person to break the streak. Voting begins now. Put it in the chat as we keep it swiftly moving along as we offer our thoughts and vote.
Oh, to me, hands down, WrestleMania 30. The story, the build of WrestleMania, of Daniel Bryan defeating all the odds, the underdog from the underground, coming up, defeating Triple H in the opener, coming out, taking the Batista RKO bomb, the Batista bomb into the RKO, and still winning. And then it's just like, we say iconic too much, but just like him holding both belts with the confetti coming down, it was like he wasn't supposed to be in the main event. I think that's the one time maybe Vince listened to the crowd of us screaming for Bryan to be Bryan was our guy. Bryan was my guy. And him winning, just like hands down. Like I feel like with Roman Taker was it on the down, obviously.
Well, it was the sandwich, if I remember correctly, because he lost to Brock, and then he came back and it was Bray. And everyone thought, I think Bray was one of the...
When did he fight CM Punk?
No, it was before he lost the streak.
CM Punk was before the streak?
Yeah, because that was New Jersey. That was WrestleMania 29.
I just remember Paul Bearer had passed away, and that was the whole big thing because he had... I just didn't know if that was...
That is on the list, WrestleMania 29. We will discuss. But, not the CM Punk.
Yes, okay, so it was Punk, then this moving to Brock, then Bray, then...
Right, yeah, and I thought Bray should have beaten Taker streak, right? But didn't have. So then this came up, and I think they were trying to give it to someone they felt like was younger, and they were going to strap a rocket to even more than they already had. And that's why we got this match. Yeah.
Well, that Monday night he came out on Raw, got booed to hell, and he was like, oh, it's my yard now. And then booed to hell. Every single one of my notes for his matches, like, early matches before he turned into the OTC, booed. Booed here.
And now...
Acknowledge me!
I think it was a DQ, so you can protect Undertaker a little bit more with the craziness on the outside. But again, how is it not WrestleMania 30? Tell me if you disagree in the chat, but to me, 30.
Yes, we will put... Again, voting began at the beginning, so we'll put another 10 seconds on the clock here. For the last votes to come in, if you disagree, let us know.
Yeah.
But
Steve and I agree. That just felt so big. So big.
American Dragon, yep. Steve with his emojis. He's just killing me with these emojis. And he's hurting my eyes.
But, yeah.
Moving along, so getting us in. All right, that's updated. So now, the 6th opening round matchup. Our 13th seed, WrestleMania 37 Night 2, Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan against, excuse me, the 20 seed, WrestleMania 23, John Cena and Shawn Michaels. This is going to be tough because I really don't have any specific memories of either.
For the triple threat, I remember when they had, because Cope likes to break the bottom of the the chair, and he had the piece of chair
Yeah.
in Roman.
That was when he started that, yeah.
And then Roman was kind of like, easy, brother.
Mm.
But again, I really liked.
Voting begins. Sorry, Nick, cut you off.
No.
Voting begins now. Put it in the chat. Help influence me and Nikki along the way. Because this was
I really like. I don't know, but like HBK Cena was really good too, and I don't know. I think people thought that HBK was going to carry him through. And again, Cena booed. Roman booed. All we do is boo these two men. I don't know.
to me, and it's so dark. It's so hard for me to go against like HBK. The John Cena matches are so at times like, and I know Sean. To me, like this was just more about putting over Roman's legacy than anything else.
Yeah.
And when I look at these two matchups, if I look at the five, forget the poster with Undertaker and Batista on there, but like if I look at the five people in here and the posters for these two matches, I think, and again maybe it's recency bias, but like I remember Roman double stack pin looking so strong.
Yeah.
And that I think was just continuing the bloodline, the ascension for the bloodline and him as tribal chief.
Yeah, and I think kind of him going over someone of Edge's caliber, which I think is very much diminished. Thank you, TK. But that him doing the double stack on these two guys that are so beloved, especially, you know, in this era, meant a whole lot. And my notes for Cena HBK was they were tag team partners going into this match. Cena was booed, and HBK hit a pile driver on Cena.
Oh, yeah.
Onto the stairs, but then Cena still won.
Yeah. Steven made a good point about this. HBK and Cena is overshadowed by a match they had a week later that went an hour. No one expected.
True, and everyone loved that match better. Because that was the one that they did, I want to say London. It was definitely in the UK. That there was the last hour of Raw.
Yeah. No. So voting begins. So let us know, Steve. I know you're putting in there. It seems like you have an idea of who you're voting for. I have an idea, but I think who Steve's voting for.
No, I think you mentioning the double stack pin puts that match, the triple threat, over for me, brother.
I think I know who Steve's down with.
Get out with LPP, yeah, you know me. Get out with LPP, yeah, you know me. Get out with LPP, yeah, you know me. Who's down with LPP? Every last on me. Get out.
I haven't used that one in a while. That's what's fun about these shows. They get to break out old drops.
Indeed.
Yeah, Steven. Yep. Double. Animal style. Update my bracket here as we move along. I think you can, if you sign up, you can see it in real time. But I will show the bracket as we get to the next round and move along. So, Nikki, moving to 7th match in the opening rounds here. We will see 5th seeded WrestleMania 28 John Cena versus The Rock, the original, once in a lifetime, against 28 seed WrestleMania 22, John Cena again. John Cena versus John Cena versus Triple H.
Can I tell you I'm not a huge...
Voting begins now.
I'm not a huge fan of either one of these matches. Again, Cena and Triple H. Cena was booed. They did have their two iconic entrances when Triple H came out as Conan the Barbarian. He had the throne in the fur of the other thing. This was in Chicago. And then Cena came out with the Tommy guns and like he was like the and that's when CM Punk was on the cart.
Oh my god.
And then he quickly and I just remember the one thing that besides the entrances, like Triple H hit him with the sledgehammer and he like basically, I don't want to say no sold, but basically no sold this sledgehammer.
Yeah, he's the only person to ever get up from a sledgehammer shot and win.
And then with 28 Rock Cena, there's like once in a lifetime. Well, it again, like you didn't.
Listen, it was once in a lifetime until it wasn't once in a lifetime, and then I got to see the second one and cover the second one, which brings us to this great podcast. One of the
Again,
many
it's
reasons
like,
we're here.
you know, it felt like it was history. Like, oh my God, Cena and Rock, they're fighting. Like, this was such a big deal. And then, like, Cena got cocky at the end, and he was going to go for the people's elbow, and it turned into Rock Bottom, and blah, blah, blah. I'm not a huge fan of either one of these matches. But honestly, to me, I would. Cena winning or Cena losing? What do you tell me, baby?
Oh,
What do you
I know
think?
my vote here. My vote's definitely going once in a lifetime. Rock Cena, like, because the Rock won, like, it was in Miami. All the intros and everything like that they had to it. All the because the whole backstory is like the legend, the Hall of Fame, whatever, always puts over the younger guy, so you weren't expecting it. And the fact that The Rock won, even in Miami, I wasn't expecting him to win in Miami. I still was expecting him to lose. I was so the pop that he got winning was so huge because I think a lot of people weren't expecting The Rock to win.
Maybe it's because I watched both of these matches. Obviously, after when I got back into wrestling and rewatched everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm gonna make Steven and everyone else pick. I'm going 22.
Wow.
I'm going 22.
I know what I got an answer for you.
From the bottom of my heart, man to man, fuck your story.
Yeah, that's The Rock thing.
The
final boss.
So Steven's going Cena Rock.
He's the versus Red One. Steve's really making me. I mean, thank God I have you as my co-host because these references are going way like Red One. I know he just had them, but like I really.
They're both. That's the name of movies that they were in.
Well, let us know in the chat for another 10 seconds. We'll keep that rolling. Which match you like better? The most votes wins.
But yeah, this was what, like, I feel like hard, but not like in a good way. Sorry. Because when we were going over the brackets, there's one and I'm waiting for us because I feel like that there's two that I'm like, oh, that's gonna be a debate. Like, because they're both good matches. This is like dog shit or dog shit. Maybe dog shit's a little aggressive, but
wow.
Steven, behave.
All right, so as voting concludes,
Once in a lifetime is going on.
Once in a lifetime is going on for at least one more lifetime. One more moment. I was trying to make a fun segue, but it didn't. Moving along. Nikki, we now have our 12th seed. Oh my God. WrestleMania 28. Undertaker, Triple H, Hell in a Cell versus WrestleMania 22, Triple H again, John Cena.
Well,
a lot of Triple H.
Spoily.
I hope you like Triple H, John Cena, or Stone Cold. Yeah, Triple H or John Cena because there's a lot of in this show.
I love the Hell in a Cell match so much.
Oh wait, I think you have the wrong graphic.
What do you mean?
Well, no, I have the Hell in a Cell. WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah.
I think I may have listed the wrong one.
I,
Go ahead, keep going.
So is this, regardless, who they're going up against?
Yes, because this ended up having to be the play-in round because we had duplicates.
Yeah, but then what Steven is saying isn't 28, isn't Rock Cena?
Sorry, I mistakenly misread because the bracket that I'm reading off 2 pages. The bracket that I'm reading isn't updated because I had to plug in WrestleMania 2000 from Friday. Remember I said that our
but what we're saying is...
No, so let me rephrase. The matchup is still the seeded Triple H Hell in a Cell.
That didn't close, is what Steve and I are saying.
Well,
The Rock Cena closed.
oh, no.
Then shove in, because you don't have night one. Then, because you don't have night one stuff, then I put Bianca, Sasha.
Okay, Bianca Sasha. We'll put this in. Bianca Sasha.
First, this match. I
Bang.
know, we're calling this on the fly, kids. I really do love that Hell in a Cell match, and it probably should have main evented. But
In the chat. So this matchup. Let me get back to the.
no, it's not versus Hell in a Cell match.
Okay, yes.
Because that's what you just put in the chat. It's Belair and Sasha Banks versus the McMahon in every corner.
Yeah, okay. So
Can we just move past this and all raise our hands to say Bianca Sasha? Steven, do you agree? Unless you're really hardcore into a McMahon in every corner.
rewrite it. I don't know. The McMahon and every would help me for the sake of this purpose. Please vote.
Okay, do you want to just pull a mulligan on this?
I'll just move along this Hell in a Cell for now as a placeholder. We'll move along. Sorry, clerical error. This happens sometimes. But back to the bracket. So, our number 2 seeded, this I think was appropriately seeded. It could have been number 1 seed. WrestleMania 3, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant against one of our play-in late seeds. WrestleMania 9, LT, Bam Bam. We went over this a little bit on Friday. You know, the affinity for the crowd.
I know. And it's like what I really want to vote for. It's like what my heart wants because it's the nostalgia for me and what this means. And also, happy birthday, Dad. He would have been 64 today. Thinking of you. That's one reason I love that match so much. But you can't. Hogan Andre is so iconic when he slammed Andre. Andre's never been slammed before in his life. But again, it's just like, and then just like them coming down on the cart, Bobby Heenan. I don't know. I know everyone's gonna say Hogan Andre, but I'm gonna say LT, but it's not gonna be LT. Obviously, this is no doubt.
Yeah,
I want to be like an honorary. I was gonna say honorary member, winner.
What, the only honorable mention?
Honorable mention, that's the word I was going for.
Honorable mention. But yeah, I can't vote against. He slammed Andre. Come on.
But that's not the first time Andre's been slammed. And I think I love really if you believe Hogan. But the story that he wasn't sure if Andre was gonna let him go over. That Andre basically was till the end of the day or before they went on the match, he wasn't sure if Andre would put him over, and Andre wasn't going to go over if he didn't want to go over.
Yeah, he just screwing people too.
I know, so I really kind of do love that fight. I really do love Andre the Giant immensely.
Steve's agreeing with us, but he has a good comment. Far be it for me to vote against the greatest defensive player of all time, NFL defensive player of all time. But Hogan Andre, just for historical significance, even though the match wasn't great.
But so also your face. He tried to do the pile driver to where he tried to pile drive Andre. He ripped up the mat. Wasn't he trying to pile drive him? Yeah.
I remember Andre always trying to choke him out.
Yeah. I don't know where in my notes. I probably should have put this in order, not order. But here we are. So that's 22.
Yeah, I mean, I can't vote against this. How do you?
Yeah, no, I know. We're all collectively saying it. Okay, I don't know what this one is. Oh, I literally just wrote Hulk versus Andre, iconic moment of all time.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so Steven said I was right. So again, WrestleMania 3 goes through.
We move along to Nikki. HBK, career versus streak against The Undertaker. WrestleMania 26, which is our 15th seed, against WrestleMania 27, The Miz versus John Cena, which, again, The Miz was the main event. WrestleMania main event.
This poor, and okay, we all know Undertaker HBK is winning. I just want to give a shout out to The Miz so much because I remember watching World 10. I remember he was, I love wrestling. I'm gonna be a wrestler, and my name is gonna be The Miz. And like everyone like shit on him for it. And then I remember I got back into wrestling. I was like, oh my god, he did the thing. He did the thing. And then again, this wasn't about him. This was setting up next year between Cena, Rock. Poor baby got his bell rung at some point because he was like doesn't like remember winning the match, which I feel terrible for because it's your big moment. But like shout out to Miz for like the boyhood dream. But god damn it, Taker, Shawn Michaels, phenomenal match. The build up to like the desperation of HBK trying to get the rematch.
Yeah.
And then wanting to prove because like
Steven's questioning whether or not it closed. It may not. It came up on our list, and I'm blaming AI if it doesn't. But I still am voting for it to go.
I thought this one did. The first one was lower on the card, and then they got mad because they wanted to main event. But
yeah, I think this is the main event. So
you want a quick Google? Or do you want me to quick Google?
no, keep going.
I thought they closed because they got mad that they didn't. Like they originally were going to be like a 10-minute match, and then they got mad that that's what Vince was giving them. Hold up. For
intensive purposes, I'm saying yes.
What is this? Yeah, 26. WrestleMania 26, HBK Taker. It was the streak versus career. He wanted to win the Royal Rumble, didn't. Taker was telling him no. Then he calls from the bell at Elimination Chamber. Yes, this did close at 20.
Yes, it did, Steven. It did. Questioning our.
Because this was the thing when he was supposed to pull what what's his face? It was Snooker's kid. Domino? Jason Domino? He was the camera guy and he did the shitty.
Domino Mysterio?
Yeah, Domino Mysterio.
Domino Mysterio.
But shout out to The Miz. So happy that he lived out his boyhood dream. But match, story, everything is career versus streak.
Agreed.
Because Steven, this was their second match. The first one the year before, they were just like in the middle of the card.
We got our stat man on this one. Unbelievable. How dare you talk about rules? I'm not even going to read that comment. No, it's a comment later.
Oh my goodness.
In the call-in section, we will discuss your hatred for rule rules. Moving along, Nikki.
Was this the match?
Number 17.
For that match?
Austin Michaels. Oh, this is going to be so easy for me. Versus Nola. Lesnar, Roman Reigns.
So basically,
WrestleMania 34.
Yeah. So Roman Brock, not a great match. I think it's very much known for when Brock. I think everyone thought that Roman was going to win, didn't, and then say I don't want to say iconic. We're saying that too much. But when he walks back into Gorilla and fucking throws the belt at Vince, it's like he didn't give a shit. It's like we didn't want Brock to win, but we also didn't want Roman to win. Like no one gave a shit. If our regulars, our kids, like when we did our 316 show 2 weeks ago, like Nick and I gushed over this match. It's so again ingrained in my brain the nostalgia, what this meant, the passing of the torch from HBK to a white hot Austin. Everything about this match. I don't know. To me, HBK.
Tungsten, Mike Tyson in the middle, the enforcer, like the build-up. This is when I started, like, because I had a little period where I was out of wrestling for a couple of years, and then I get back into it, and this is the Attitude Era. This is what started getting me back into the DX, like Shawn Austin, where McMahon line that whole feud, like everything about this WrestleMania. I remember so much of. For me, this is a very easy one.
The brawl, the throwing of the symbols, like everything. We go watch our 316 show. Just you and I love this match so much, and I think this match could have been even better if HBK was in a better mind space, head space,
Body space.
body space. Because again, like it's a tale of. I don't want to go much into Shawn Michaels, but like everyone thought this run of HBK was incredible, and then passed the torch and he came back and probably was even better.
Oh yeah.
But to me, this match has it not?
Steven's just trying to throw a wrench in everything. Roman Brock, because in New Orleans on City Tours they talk about that match being cursed to this day. Fair enough. Well, we got 10. Nikki will run it down.
Okay.
No more last votes. Steven, you are outnumbered. Yeah, here as I move along swiftly here. Yeah.
Just see, Steven's just giving us more reasons to go to New Orleans. New Orleans.
Our number 10 seed, WrestleMania 20, Benoit versus Shawn, the triple threat, Benoit's moment. Versus Shawn Michaels versus Triple H against our 23 seed. This one? Oh, sorry. Versus, again, our play-in round, we had to equate to WrestleMania 9. I almost called him HBK. Oh God, I'm looking at him. Bret the Hitman Hart and Yokozuna, which the infamous.
Yeah, I think I've said enough
Hogan.
the past 2 times we did this. I don't like the Bret Yokozuna match because fuck Hulk Hogan. This triple threat, it hurts because it's like what he did and what happened, but it just again focusing on this match in a bubble was so good. The sequences that they did together, and then like with Triple H pinning HBK, and then Chris Benoit pulls, and then HBK is gonna tap to Chris Benoit, and Triple H grabs his arm. It was such a good liquid, kind of felt like such a good match, and then Benoit winning, and then confetti, and then Eddie comes out. It was such a beautiful moment and such a good match, and this underdog that beating Triple H and HBK was so huge, and Triple H tapping clean. Again, I have to keep it in that little bubble of that match in that moment, and to me, that is better than Bret Yokozuna / Hogan.
Well, put in the chat if you disagree with Nikki what your vote is, as I let you know. We got another 10, 15 seconds on that. To me, yeah, I remember that moment because everyone was talking about the technical wrestler of, Benoit, like his deserving moment, and it was his time. So, and you have HBK and you have Triple H in that match, like phenomenal, like Hall of Famers, top 10 wrestlers of all time for sure. So it's not going to be a bad match by any stretch. And I think that their stardom, their star power helped elevate Benoit. So to me, yeah, I'm going the triple threat here. And again, just the negativity. I guess even Hulk Hogan winning the belt was just so poorly. Just done.
Yeah.
One vote for Bubbles.
Steven, you got me on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. But Steve agrees with us. I'm assuming he's agreeing with us. Well, even if he doesn't, he loses the majority rules vote. So triple threat moving on. Nikki getting to the next round. We're getting it.
Gotcha.
What?
Steven, no, because I was like in this bubble. We have to think of it because I can't. I can't wrap around everything that Chris Benoit did outside this little bubble.
Oh, okay. So he's the unanimous vote. Is what you're saying.
Yes.
Gotcha. So we move to our number 3 seed. Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle. What is that? WrestleMania 19? 19? Yeah. I think it's 19. No. X1. I versus The Rock, John Cena 2, WrestleMania 29. That one I do know. This one's going to be really tough for me to vote on because of personal bias. WrestleMania 29, you can see it on this page. I have some interviews leading up to it with Ryback and some other great stuff. I got to find the archives of my old interviews for WrestleMania 29 and re-release them. But this was very personal to me, a fun event. The match itself, knowing what happened the year before, we talked about this earlier in the show, like because of how of a surprise it was to me that The Rock won in Miami and that they ran it back, everyone knew Cena was winning. So like it was very lackluster to me because I just couldn't get through it. I knew, and then The Rock, I think, tears his pec in this match, I feel.
Yes.
And messed up some filming for some movies after that, or one or multiple of his movies after that. And then you have Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle, the NCAA, champion versus the Olympic gold medalist, like the technical matchup that it was supposed to be, the build up for this. I remember the failed shooting star that Brock Lesnar never tried because he was just too far across the ring, and it would have been a crazy WrestleMania moment that he basically ended up finishing this match with a concussion.
Yeah. That's our. I was like old-fashioned amateur wrestling into the checkers, into like just then you kind of the moves got bigger and bigger, and then you're getting into the more wrestling entertainment of it. And then again, I'm worried that the match is just known for that botched shooting star press, but he gave himself a concussion, landed on his head, got up, and still gave him the F5 for the win. I know, Brock Lesnar's not. I'm not a huge fan of Brock Lesnar, but to me, obviously, it goes to Kurt Brock.
And this is what he had, if I recall correctly, Team Angle, right? So was he going through Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin too to get to Kurt?
I think so, but also like Brock and Shelton are biffles.
Right, but like it elevated other people along the way, or tried to. So like to me, that's what I have. Your vote matters. Put in the chat. Let us know if you disagree. Do you like WrestleMania 29?
No, you don't.
Rock Cena 2?
No, you don't.
Over Lesnar Angle? You never know. Some people, it's personal preference. That's what makes this game so fun.
We have like some hardcore John Cena fans in the chat. Maybe.
Nikki, the next one's going to get...
Is this the one I've been waiting for?
I think this might be the one that you're waiting for. Unanimous. So, Angle Brock, as we move along, this might be the one you've been waiting for. So...
this one hurts.
One of the toughest, I think, first round matches. Now, this is the 14th seed. This is how it was ranked. 14th seed, WrestleMania 35, Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. First time women ever main event WrestleMania.
Yes.
Versus the 19th seed, WrestleMania 40, Cody Roman Reigns 2. Cody completes his story. So, history versus history, Nikki.
This one hurts my heart.
Something has got to give.
War games.
The build to the women, again, both of them, the build to like when they were just like throwing down in the car park and they're all getting arrested and then they're punching out the car windows and they all had like these fun entrances. It's just like Becky Two Belts was born. Fucking Ronda, keep your shoulders down. Like this was such a good match, such a moment, and fucking Ronda's shoulders were not down. But Becky Two Belts was born, and we finally had a women's match close a Mania. Like this is just so fucking good.
Well, put it before Nikki casts her votes. Put it in the chat because this is a very big one. We want to know your vote. Which one did you like better? This is going to be a tough one. Go on, Nikki.
Then WrestleMania 40, Cody versus Roman 2, finishing the story. The schmaz of everyone coming out. Cena, Rock, Taker. Everybody says Rollins has one leg in a Shield costume. It's just like, he finally won the belt. He won the story. He won it for his dad. He toppled the tribal chief. He's crying in the ring. I'm crying in the ring. We're all crying. The stories, the winners, this is everything. And then Steven's like, no question 40, but There's a huge question. Also, I can't. We support our
It's
ladies.
yes, we love the ladies.
We love our ladies, but I 40 was so goddamn good. But I cannot not vote for Becky Two Belts.
So you're voting.
Again, that was the shitty WrestleMania. It was a long time. For the people that were there live that got stuck at Giant Stadium, my heart's out to you. But
Nikki's got her vote.
I'm going my ladies. I'm sure I'm out.
Put it in the chat. We'll do a quick because this is a tough one.
I wish they were seated so differently, or because I'm not.
You get the seed.
I love
You get the seed.
I love 40. Like last year's mini was crazy. I just think this is not going to go forward because of 40, and it should go. But I will concede.
So my vote on this, I gotta say, he finishes his story WrestleMania 40.
I know, and I agree. Like, that's incredible. They're two big things that should have not been against
So
each
this
other.
is our first. This is the first upset in the opening round. Bracket breaker.
I get it. And again, WrestleMania 40 was so crazy.
Ooh, it's gonna be a good one. And WrestleMania 40 might. Ooh, when you see the next round, getting excited. Fair enough. Reese, welcome back in, our friend from Scotland.
I just again, it's hard because I don't know when you called in, but it's just I don't want to move on because I think I will stay here for 2 days and.
Nikki, I don't want you to be because we got a lot more, and your heart's gonna break a lot more. I feel like.
I know.
So we move on. We got 2 more opening round matchups here as we get. This is interesting. Sorry, I tried to find good.
What is this graphic?
Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. Iron Man match. WrestleMania 9. There's no I tried to find posters, and some of these they just didn't have posters, so we had to go back to VHS level days. So please appreciate the level of research I did to make this awesome. But that being said, versus WrestleMania 32, Triple H, Roman Reigns.
I want to agree with Reese because obviously over the 2 matches, Iron Man versus the dog shit match between Triple H and Roman Reigns, but I really don't love the Iron Man match. I think
some people say it's boring because it was so long for one pin, but I love that.
You had to go to overtime, and again, maybe I'm just because I don't like Bret. That it's a schma. It's too much.
I need to get a Bret Hart drop for you.
Maybe.
It might be
I don't know. I don't. But again, between the 2 matches, obviously the Iron Man. But I don't think it's everything cracked up.
Well, you can also incorporate it's your personal preference. So you can also incorporate the build-up, who's in the match. Right? It doesn't have to be like a 5-star date. This is the point of this. It's not a Dave Meltzer 5-star review. It's your own 5-star review.
He gave Andre Hogan -4 stars or some bullshit.
Probably.
But it's but Triple H Roman was so goddamn bad. I didn't want Triple H as much as I'm a Triple H gal.
This is a unanimous, Nikki.
Is it? We finally got one? Ugh.
Where you saying one of the best WrestleMania matches in the versus the worst match? I picked Iron Man, and it only gets as far as the quarterfinal. Brett is arguably my favorite wrestler, but isn't his best Mania match. Fair enough. I mean, yeah.
Again, I just think Triple H Roman is just that bad that the Iron match has to go through. But again, it depends on what you're.
Well, it's going to get more difficult as we go, Nikki. So our final matchup in the opening round. More Roman Reigns. WrestleMania 31, Lesnar versus Reigns. It actually ends up being the triple threat match. So I guess we can kind of one hodgepodge because the triple threat match lasted 35 seconds.
Well, this is the part. I think this WrestleMania was Brock Roman's best match.
This actually is a very infamous WrestleMania for me. We, obviously we've been together for a while. We have WrestleMania parties. This is an infamous. We like to pick our WrestleMania main events.
Yeah, I was not involved in this one.
Longtime listener of the show, Steve M. Punk correctly predicted Seth Rollins cashing in Money in the Bank, and another listener of the show, Hulk Hogan, lost the belt that night. But regardless, I digress. So a little bit memorable for me, but versing the Boneyard match, which is actually listed as our 22nd seed. So our number 11 seed is actually the triple threat with Rollins, ultimately. So voting opens now. Vote in the chat. Let us know which you like better. I have a feeling this one might be a little tricky.
I don't know, because it's tricky because, you know, I love Seth Rollins, and this cash-in is so fucking epic. We've debated this before, but this is my cash-in. Like, Ziggler's was incredible as well, but Seth's a little higher for me. Even because, again, he lost the kind of thing when Brett is whatever meaning of that was lost in the opening match because that crazy RKO, and then came in, cashed in, and won. It was like, oh, and him in the top swinging the belt. Again, also think that's the best Brock Roman match. But God, that Boneyard match was everything we needed in the pandemic era.
Yeah.
Like that, I love that. I've rewatched that match probably more times than I should.
It was one of the first WrestleManias you and I watched.
Yes.
And I think it was so fun because, like, I remember, like, I went to take a quick smoke break, and I remember it was as the intro, and you're like, oh my God. And I knew exactly what happened for the match because you're like, he came out of the, I was like, AJ's going to come out of the casket and do some old school Undertaker shit, and it's going to look great. And exactly what I thought. And that's like, yeah, like during the pandemic, this was so
we
well
watched that
done.
together.
Yeah, this was just so phenomenally well done. And this is the era of like the cinematic matches. And then I think the same WrestleMania as the Firefly Funhouse. Right?
Yes, because that didn't main event night 2, but that was in night 2.
Yeah.
And I fucking love that match. Whatever that, it's not a match, but no, I agree. I think it's probably one of the best cinematic matches. I love the Seth Cashman so much, but I really love the Boneyard match. So I'm going Boneyard. It's so hard. Again, it's like, if they were seated against other things, they would have went higher.
Nikki, we have another upset.
Yeah.
And we are out of the first round. Let me try and...
I know, again...
It's going to be tough to try and share.
It's hard because I really think that was the best Brock Roman match they could have had, and like Steph was the icing on the fucking cake. But God damn it, that Boneyard match was everything I think the world needed at that point because the world was fucked up, the world was scary, and like just them like, oh, I don't know. Again, it's that meme that's forever when you see like him on the tractor forklift thingy, and then you just see Undertaker coming up, and him like riding his motorcycle to Metallica. I'm like, the world needed that.
No, it is true. I mean, it was just the right time for it.
Yeah, and it's just like that stupid hand at the end. I don't know. It's just like, I feel like also the Undertaker kind of needed that. Because I don't love the match with him and Brock, or obviously him and Brock because he lost. The one with him and Roman was like, it's my yard now. That weird thing with Cena, and like, I just feel like this was kind of like the end of the feathers in the cap that the Undertaker needed that match.
Agreed. It was the perfect ending to his career. So Nick, I'm trying to get the formatting right so we can see some of these brackets.
Okay, whatever.
So if I can get this right.
Like, I can keep talking about the Boneyard match, but also, I really love. I know it didn't mean, but that Firefly Funhouse match was chef's kiss all around.
So we are in round 2. I'm trying to bring it up, see if it gets bigger. You let me know when you can start seeing, because you're gonna be my little eyes.
Nope.
Nope.
I don't know what you're. Nope. What?
Good.
I don't know. So next is 17 versus 39.
Correct. So our number 1 seed, WrestleMania 17, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock, will take on our number 16 seed, WrestleMania 39, Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes 1. So give me 1 second here.
So Steven's point, I think Nick used some weird AI thing to pull this together, but we already eliminated two of the was it, I guess earlier in March, we debated Hogan Bundy, and you were the only one that voted Hogan Bundy.
Yes.
I don't know where 4 or 5 or 6.
Yes, some of them got we AI'd it
I agree.
based off of
Macho Madness and didn't include any of his good matches. I love him DiBiase, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Hogan versus Bundy was painful. We got rid of that pretty early. We made sure we did everyone a favor.
But I don't know, like, because Nick used ChatGPT to kind of pull this together, but it's also like we're missing night one. Once WrestleMania went to 2 nights, we're missing one. That's why I said Bianca.
Yes, Hogan Warrior was one that it got a little wonky, so we had to adjust on the fly a little bit here, Steven. So we are doing.
We're just making shit up as we go along, Steven. You've been here enough to know we don't have a plan.
So, anyway, our number 1 seed. So this is the matchup. Let me see if I can copy this.
So is this versus the Triple H versus Brian versus Edge versus
Put
Roman?
this in the chat. Versus. Okay. And yeah, so now it's going to be versus the 16th seed, Roman versus Cody Reigns 1.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Versus Roman Cody Reigns 1.
Oh, interesting. So it's Rock Austin. Yeah, okay. So Rock Austin 2 versus Roman Cody 1.
Yes, I did this correctly. Oh, no, wrong one.
Oh my god.
No, I thought I had the graphics up, but I had them in order of the seed. But I was just slight. Oh, that's why. My math is off. Math is hard. Here we go.
Oh, so I don't know.
Roman Cody 1.
Roman Cody 1 versus Rock Austin 2, which ended the Attitude Era.
Reese is saying X7.
Again, so like end of an era or kind of start of an era. Because again, like when Cody didn't win, and then we gotta build him down to build him.
To me, that's actually a lot easier than some of the.
Well, are you going 17 then?
Yeah. Yeah. I told you from the start, I'm voting on moments, and
You
to
did.
me, it's
Okay, I
the moment.
don't think I had really a horse in the horse in the fight, a horse in the game, horse in the race. I'm fine with X7.
Yeah, I think so. We have 3 for WrestleMania 17. Does anyone? Yep, Steve. It seems unanimous. Yeah, Reese saying Roman winning at 39 was. Yeah,
Then you gotta. No, with Cody winning at 40 would have been a bigger moment. I guess him winning at 39. I don't know. That's with Triple H logic.
Start. All right, so voting concludes as I move along. So headed, our first official entrant as today is the Final 4, ladies and gents. Our first entrant into the Final 4 is our top-seeded WrestleMania 17. Making it in to the Final 4.
Mm-hmm.
Stone Cold's heel turn. Pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Muy interesante. So, Nikki, we move along.
The next one.
I'm getting there. God. I'm doing 3 things at once. I'm trying to multitask. Our number 8 seed, WrestleMania 21, Batista versus Triple H.
Mm-hmm.
And this is going up again. Okay. Versus WrestleMania 18, Jericho versus Triple H.
So wait, Batista, Triple H.
Oh, sorry. No, we wrote in that. How did that work? Did I do? Oh, man. No. Undertaker Edge, I did -1 by mistake. So I had to edit it. It was Undertaker Edge. How did I get
This
negative
is-
one?
So Undertaker, Edge versus Batista, Triple H.
Yes. Sorry, it's the 8 seed versus the 9 seed.
All right, that doesn't mean anything. You gotta.
I'm getting us there.
So
What's not that one? Not that one either. Hold on. I'm a little off on the slides.
wait, Edge, Taker.
Batista, Triple H, Edge, Taker.
I want to go Edge, Taker. I think that was a more fun match. Again, like the sooner the game, the counter, the reversals are doing all the things. And then at the last, I don't want to say last second, but then that's when Taker debuts, Hell's Gate. You're going to tap to me. He won the belt.
Yeah, I mean, again, moments. We talk about moments to me. Yeah, like Edge, Undertaker, like that whole lot. Again, I'm reminded of the La Familia storyline. It's very interesting. I mean,
I don't know. I think it's Edge, Taker.
yeah, I mean, the two names, Batista and Triple H, had a nice storyline, but
No,
I think they're both pretty appropriately ranked, 8th and 9th, like right in the middle.
I like the build up for both of them, but to me, I like the match Edge Taker better.
Reese agrees. He said he thought it was the best match of their feud. Had more to it. 15-month build at a perfect capitalized moment. Yeah. Agreed. So let me move them along and not give them a negative score this time. +1. That's what happens when you use brackets. I'm using a lot of technology here.
Again, you're doing great, babe.
So our second entrant into the Final Four, WrestleMania 24, The Undertaker versus Edge.
Mm-hmm.
So now, hold on, let me put this in the chat. I'm copying and pasting.
You do.
WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton versus Batista. And this is going up against WrestleMania 37, Roman Reigns versus Edge versus triple threat match.
So it's
Triple
a
threat match versus
that
triple threat
has
match.
Bryan in both, right? You said
Yeah,
30
yeah,
versus.
yeah, Daniel Bryan triple threat match.
To me, then it's 30 all day. No, I'm not. It's 30 all day for me. I think the story and it was getting Bryan to the pinnacle when the other one is getting Roman over on the double stacks. But the Miracle on Bourbon Street, the WrestleMania, Daniel Bryan. That's what Cole said. Shout out to Michael Cole. I know everyone's just on him. I love him immensely. No, it's 30 for me all day. And I'm telling you I'm wrong. Or agree with me. It's 30.
Nikki likes WrestleMania 30. Steven's chiming in, Daniel Bryan 30.
30.
Reese chiming in, Mania 30 because he dislikes the choice of having Edge losing the match. Oh, yeah. And should have won and had Bryan purely because he was just leaving in a bad call. Yeah, that's a fair point.
No, that makes sense.
Actually, it's a
Yeah.
very valid point.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just like again, like I keep going back to memories. So to me, WrestleMania 30, moving on.
Yeah, again, he had that match. He had to fight Triple H in the opener to get to the finale, and then still won.
I'm sorry, we're in the Elite 8. Getting close. All right, now, our number 5 seeded WrestleMania 28, John Cena. This is the original, the OG. Once in a lifetime.
How did this get up here?
Why does it get up here? It should get up here. It was once in a lifetime, Nikki.
Yeah.
That became twice in a lifetime. And that is going to take on our number 12 seed, WrestleMania 28, Undertaker versus Triple H.
No.
Hell in a Cell.
No.
Oh, wait, no. Sorry.
Did not main event.
Oh,
And then-
this is why
wait.
you're here. Help.
This is why I put in because your
Sasha.
chat GPT did not put in night one stuff. So I said Bianca Sasha.
Bianca Sasha.
And to me, John Cena versus Rock is awful. Bianca Sasha, that match, that moment, again, supporting my ladies, as much as I feel kind of about Sasha Banks. It's a better match, it's more iconic to me. Roxana can kick rocks.
Mm.
And when you keep putting that match in, it's not.
I'm trying to multitask. I need you to type.
Kids, it is Sasha and Bianca versus the other match. Well, first Rock Cena.
Yeah.
Rock Cena won versus
Oh,
Bianca Sasha.
Yeah, sorry.
Lord. I'm gonna have to double check it. I guess
This is why, if you were in production meetings,
well,
you know
if I got invited to production meetings.
you said you were a rock band, wasn't interested.
I really wanted, because we lost Becky 2 belts. I want to at least push one women's match somewhere. Again, John Cena, Rock, and in the moment, in the things, it was like, oh, this is iconic, this is great, but like, fuck the two.
I'm going John Cena Rock.
Oh no!
Because it was once in a lifetime. The build up was.
It wasn't twice.
At the time, it was once in a
And then
lifetime.
who knows what they're flirting with and like, oh.
At the time, it was once in a lifetime. So, to me, that's what I'm going with. Put it in the chat.
Nick and I are disagreeing. We need someone.
We need tiebreakers,
We need tiebreakers.
or else the higher seed wins, which would be Roxanne.
Reese.
Reese is going. All right. Can't write this in, so just remind me.
I will.
Yeah, you don't predict. I feel like, well, they're trying to get to the Elite Eight, so we'll see. Steven, if you got anything different, let us know. 5, 3, 2. Steve said the ladies. All right.
Any one ladies match to do something.
All right. So let me just put this.
We're not getting another.
We're
Again,
calling this the Undertaker Triple H channel stuff because it wasn't, right? But we're calling
sure.
it. Just for my clerical
You're
purposes here to
right,
keep
yes.
organization intact.
I don't think it will go further than this, but
All right. Now we're getting to it. Our number 2 seed, WrestleMania 3, coming back into play, Nikki. It's WrestleMania 3 versus, let me just get back here. I'm switching through slides. Our 15 seed, WrestleMania 26, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels.
Undertaker Shawn. I'm sorry. I know it's iconic, and I get it, but God, Shawn Taker for me. Streak for his career, the desperation of HBK to have this match. Again, proving that like Vince fucked up last year. I know everyone's like,
I know this is a very difficult
I
Sweet
know.
16
Maybe it's
matchup.
because I don't give a fuck about Hulk Hogan. Like I know it's an iconic thing, and I get it. Him slamming, it's a big fucking thing. I get it. But my heart, my brain, my everything, HBK Taker all day.
Let us know in the chat. What do you got? This is really before I cast my vote. Because my favorite wrestler, Shawn Michaels, this was a phenomenal match. Like, if you're looking at matches, this was definitely a better on-paper match. And in the ring match, right? But WrestleMania 3 got everything going.
Yeah.
Steve said HBK in better match than Thunder looks.
I made you watch The Princess Bride.
I know, but I don't remember names of all these movies. There's too many things you make me watch. HBK Taker, yeah, it seems like the unanimous vote.
Yes. Me, Reese, Steven are all HBK Taker. I get it's a.
I'll vote. No, I can't vote
against
against
matter.
one.
Your vote doesn't matter.
I
It's
know.
3 against 1.
But for the record, just I don't know. You gotta have moments. You gotta create moments.
I have to make you watch Princess Bride again.
Oh my god! I feel like we watched that movie a million times.
I like more than.
Mm.
Anywho's. Yeah.
All right, now we're moving on. Our number 7 seed, WrestleMania 14. Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels taking on WrestleMania 20. Chris Benoit versus Shawn Michaels versus Triple H. Let me go throw this in the chat as you all vote and let us know which one you particularly liked better. Not Dave Meltzer.
Again, we're in the bubble. We're in the bubble of just that match and how incredible that match was. And Triple H champion clean and how wrestling that is the good thing. Good. Also, my nostalgia brain. We've talked about it all the time. As much as I like the HBK Austin match. No, I think I'm gonna go Austin HBK here.
Ooh.
I think this I might be in the minority here. Again, I really love that triple threat match. I think that was maybe not the first. I maybe have to look back at first good triple threat main event that it wasn't like, oh, I'm in like the liquid wrestling between the three of them was so fucking good. And the moment and him and Eddie at the end was so good, but I'm just like, I have to be in that bubble. But I also really love the torch, HBK being fucked up, passing the torch to Austin. Austin being such a white hot commodity at that point. And then again, we love the match, the brawl, or whatever. I don't.
Yeah.
No,
Who are you voting for?
I'm going HBK Austin.
So am I, and so is Reese. It seems it's pretty unanimous. Steven voted 20. That's
I know,
probably.
it's actually, again, if this wasn't against something that we held right here.
Yeah.
Again,
this is the thing. It's your personal preference. So, to me, it got me back into, it was when I was getting back into wrestling. So, this was two of my favorite guys. Stone Cold became one of my favorite guys. So, it happens. So, all right, we move along. Our number, this is not number 3 seed. I think I'm all screwed up now. Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle against our 19th seed WrestleMania 40, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes 2.
Oh, I think we gotta go.
So, do you like wrestling or storyline? Because that's kind of what we're asking here.
True. I'm gonna go WrestleMania 40. I know the checkers and the blah blah blahs, but no, Cody Roman 2. Cody finishing his flippin' story.
Yeah, it was the moment still fresh and all of that stemmed from that.
There's recency bias, but I don't.
There is recency bias because I don't remember what I did yesterday.
No, again, the Brock Angle match was really good, and I feel like everyone gets stuck on. Obviously, the Shane Star press, but it still hit the F5 that looked beautiful. But again, the storytelling, I don't know that much of the story of Brock Angle.
Yeah, no, the Brock. It was just again, they were both the best wrestlers, amateur wrestlers in the world that came to WWE.
And NCAA versus your Olympic gold medal and blah blah blah.
Wow, Reese and Brock versus Angle. A million%. Your story also backstage when Brock said he could easily beat Angle in the ring because you could see Brock being screwed by Heyman and then screwed by Angle. Great match. Yeah, true. And like there was a lot of backstories to that feud too about like how Angle amateurly like Brock was talking a lot of crap about being an amateur wrestler and like could beat Angle, and Angle just like took him to school. Like just like organic, like I guess like shoot heat, backstage heat that happened. So it's interesting vote, Reese. Yeah, like to me, I have to agree. I hate agreeing with Nikki sometimes because it's so much more fun.
We hate agreeing with each other.
Yeah, but like to me, this
I don't know.
was the moment. Like again, the storyline.
Yeah.
I get
No, I think
where you're coming from with like if you're pure like wrestling, yeah, like that's 100% what it is. You know, and yeah, Steve's like 40, but I get it. Yeah, like it's just a great.
No, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, it's just to me, the buildup is just, and the culmination of what happened just makes too much sense. So, moving along, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes finishing his story, getting to the Elite Eight. Finally, our last matchup in the Sweet 16, Nikki. We have WrestleMania 12. Oh, hold on. Can't read it all. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Iron Man match. One of Reese's personal favorites.
Mm-hmm.
And they're taking on Undertaker, AJ Styles, Boneyard match.
Oh, these are so... you cannot be so different in these matches.
Yeah, it's...
I don't know. I want to say a Boneyard match. I really do. And I get like the history, the nostalgia, the iconicness of the first Iron Man match, them going the full hour. I know that's so much and so a lot. But then the Boneyard match being that in the pandemic, the cinematography and how, I don't know. Everyone, I can talk myself away. I really can. I know you talk me. I feel like I'm dominating.
Well, so again, you're talking with the HBK Bret Hart match. You're talking about like technical ability, right? Like it went down to one pinfall overtime, like an hour-long Iron Man match. That's at the time one pinfall mattered. Like you get only one. Like there wasn't crazy matches like that. So the Iron Man match to get to that point, that go over an hour, it did a lot. It did a lot. But like the Boneyard match was more, again, for the times that it was in, changed a little bit of what the complexion of what WWE was capable of doing. Like you knew that they were a cinematic company, but WWE saw what Matt Hardy started doing with all the deleted, broken world, whatever you call it stuff. And they were mimicking a little bit of that, and that was their venture into that. So to me, being able to go to that point and like experiment on the biggest stage with the Boneyard match was really important for WWE to try that out. And then it led to, obviously, the next night was the Firefly Funhouse match. And it just, like Reese kind of put in the chat earlier, like it was a great way for the Undertaker, someone who can't do as many bumps anymore, right? It was a great way to send off his character as a last match. That's what I really, really liked about it. I don't know, like that to me ultimately is probably what would sway me towards that, the Boneyard match being my pick, because I just think, again, I like the storylines. I like the way that the cinematography, the way they filmed it, and everything else during the times. This was, to me, it kept you interested. It was perfect for what they were doing. And
I think we can go back to, because I've rewatched both of these matches multiple times. Gun to my head, which match I would rewatch again? Boneyard match.
Yeah, I think I agree. As much as I love HBK, I would probably watch that. Steven says 12. Wow, we got a tiebreaker.
No, Steven said before that he has cut out 36 from his brain power. Steven doesn't recognize 36.
So I don't know. So I guess he's counting 12 because Steve and Reese are both as the match that's best alive, and Sean Edge the Grace by the skin of his teeth. Sudden super kick, chef's kiss. So
are me and you, Boneyard, the two of them?
Yeah. And if we have to go to the tie-breaking seed,
the seed goes. So that
believe it or not, it's Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart.
Yeah, I figured that was higher seeded.
Is going to move along.
I'm not surprised. Again, the little, but as much as that's why I pushed for LT and Bam Bam, but for that, it makes sense. Like that is such a moment in time, like a next.
The boyhood dream.
The boyhood dream come true.
All right, Nikki, moving over. We are in the Elite Eight.
Mm-hmm.
So now, our top seeded WrestleMania 17 takes on the number 9 seed, I'm assuming, Undertaker versus Edge, WrestleMania 24. I'm getting good at my Roman numerals now.
No.
Let me just put this down.
So Undertaker versus what?
Okay. Too many tabs. WrestleMania 24. Oh, sorry. Versus WrestleMania 17. So Stone Cold Rock.
Oh.
Oh, whoops. I think I put the wrong one in chat. Nope. All right. There we go. Put it in the chat. Start casting your vote.
Ew. This is a tough pickle.
Yes. The Stone Cold's heel turn. Or Edge and Undertaker. Edge knowing all Undertaker's moves. The counter, La Familia. Can Edge upset the top seed?
You think you know me. You think you know me.
This is a tough one because it's like, I don't want it to be like 17 hands down just wins all the things because I don't know if that's the end all. Is that the end all be all of wrestling? I don't know. Match wise, did I like this one better? I don't know. It's different stages of
Undertaker's best main event, but it doesn't eclipse 17.
Oh, but does it? But does it just a little bit? Just a little sliver.
No.
Maybe again, you. No.
I can't go against the turn.
But then it's just like
At least it's not here to defend Edge.
If it's a foregone conclusion, then it's just like
it's not. You're still to
to
get to the final 4. This is to get to the final 4. Let's see. Give it another 10. Wait, do we have more?
What?
I don't think.
What?
Oh yeah, no, Steve. I don't think the resident Edge fan will be upset if you vote Edge out.
No, I don't think you would. I think we're over that, to be honest. I'm gonna lose, but I'm going Edge Taker.
Well,
I know 17
by a 3-1 margin. I actually put 3.
But this is also something because everyone was like, then shouldn't it be 3 versus 17 that like those are your 2 big iconic moments in the history of ever? But does that really outshadow everything else that's ever happened?
Well, 3 hasn't gotten through. And that's why we do this. Because you just never know in March Madness what's going to happen.
Next.
Nikki, literally what we do. So, now we get into our number 4 seeded WrestleMania 30. Triple threat, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Batista. And they're taking on WrestleMania 28. No, not WrestleMania, the Sasha.
Oh, so it's
because yes, we
it's
wrote
the
it.
triple threat of 30 with Batista, Randy Orton, Daniel Bryan versus Sasha versus Bianca. as much, and I'm sorry that my ladies are losing because I very much love that match, but you can't 30s everything to me. So
Yeah, I mean, how do you go against?
like that the build up of the Occupy Raw movement. We were all screaming and chanting, and then I loved my like respect the beer cheer, and just like Daniel Bryan was everything back then. Was everything back then. And he wasn't supposed to be in that match. Again, I was at that back-to-back Royal Rumbles, and we're so upset about him not being in it, and then him getting thrown out of it. Daniel Bryan was everything to everyone then. 2013 is our full time.
Yeah, I think this is pretty unanimous. All right, making it in. We have our first two entrants in the final four. Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
WrestleMania 17, Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. And we have WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton versus Batista. A couple more to get through. But before we get to the final four, we still have to get to two more spots to open up. We have WrestleMania 26, The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels.
The streak versus career first.
Streak versus career.
No, I mean, what's the...
sorry. Versus WrestleMania, versus WrestleMania 14, Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels.
Oh.
This is going to be a tough one.
Well, I guess that's because it's saying this out loud because it's really is the rise of Austin and the quick up and down of Daniel Bryan. Because he dropped the belt 2 months after.
Mm.
No, I agree with Reese. I think we have to go 14. As much as I love 30. I love 30 so much, but...
Wait,
you
no, sorry, not 30. No, you're doing WrestleMania 26, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels versus Steve Austin versus Shawn Michaels. I was just telling you who got into the final four.
Oh,
That was
you
not-
turned me off.
Sorry. Well, because you don't listen when I talk, as everyone. I
I
mean,
don't listen when you talk.
unbelievable. So, yes, it's WrestleMania 26, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, the career versus the street, versus Steve Austin versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 14.
26. Shawn Taker have a better match. Better story, better everything.
I'm thinking 14. Got me back into wrestling.
So
Taking my heart.
Well, me and Steven are at 26 and you and Reese are at 14.
Oh, God. Here we go. Tiebreaker.
Unless someone else out there.
Anyone else? Yeah, Steve's got...
Yeah, me and Steve are 26.
Oh, man.
You and Reese are at 14.
Got people in the chat. Let us know. We got to get a tiebreaker. We'll give it 10 seconds for a tiebreaker.
Call Josh real quick.
And then we'll do a high seed.
I know. You call.
No more mail-in votes on this one.
You call Lisa real quick. Call Ed.
Or do we do a seed? It's a seed. Home court advantage, whatever we're calling it.
Then what's seated higher then?
According to this, WrestleMania 14, Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels is the higher seed.
Bananas to me. Don't bring JR to this.
So we'll give it 10 seconds. I'll throw the clock up 10 seconds. If someone else chimes in with a tie-breaking vote, it's WrestleMania 14.
Steven, done dirty. We're done dirty.
Versus Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. Let us know in the chat. We'll throw it in. Tie goes to the higher speed. Nikki, WrestleMania 14.
Again, I love both matches, but I don't know if I agree.
Well, that's why we can do this again next year.
Steven, you need to get a different handle.
No, don't give him ideas like that.
He said fake voice 26.
Unbelievable.
You're unbelievable.
Our last matchup in the Elite Eight, WrestleMania 40. Cody Rhodes finishes his story. And this is taking on WrestleMania 12. Wait. The Iron Man. Oh, yeah, the Iron Man match. Sorry.
Yeah.
For a second.
The Iron Man match versus what?
Versus Cody finishing his story, WrestleMania 40.
Cody finishing his story.
Cody, yeah, I mean, well, you know how I feel about
the build up and everything that we've built the podcast on about this WrestleMania 40. Has it not?
Yeah. I mean,
Reese is doing Iron Man match.
Reese, well, I know Reese loves this. He loves his WrestleMania 12 Iron Man match.
I don't know. Steven.
Steve, we're waiting on your vote here. If you want to throw it in here, we got another 30 seconds.
Steven Rhodes.
Steven Rhodes.
I don't know what went to the.
Or do you like the Iron Man match? Yep, Steven says 40 was more fun. Fair enough. WrestleMania 40 moving along. Let me get this in here.
Yeah.
3-1.
I know were we final four?
We are at the final four.
And I feel like none of us are happy about it.
Well, there's also like 28 other teams that are unhappy. So, groups.
Sure. What you got, Bubbles?
All right. So, our you want to hear the final four names? So
No, you're going to confuse me. Give me the two. Give me the two I have to vote. No more talkies. Give me the two I need to.
All right. The first matchup in our final four, ladies and gentlemen, it is WrestleMania, our top seed WrestleMania 17 versus WrestleMania 30. Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton versus Batista. Hold on, let me get this. Give me a minute.
Reese, I think you're right. And that's the thing. I very much love 30. Does my love for 30 trump everyone's love for 17? I don't know. I don't think it does.
This is. I don't feel like super passionately about either. Like, overwhelmingly about. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. I think I don't know. I'm not gonna win, but I'm going for 30. I think as much as we talk about nostalgia, again, I wanted Bam and LT to go to the moon. I don't know. Dare I say 30s? I can't think. I don't know. They're to me so neck and neck. Like it's so the iconic build of like. But no, because I did the heel turn, so it doesn't make sense.
Steve's having a tough. See, this is where the final four. It gets tough. This is what
I'm going 30. I'm going 30. You can berate me in the comments below, but I'm going 30.
Steven, this is what WrestleMania Madness is all about.
I don't know. I'm going 30. Disagree.
Reese has got 17. Nikki's got 30. Steven.
I am 16. Going on 17.
That's a song.
Yes, it is. if you like musicals
Ah,
from the 70s.
interesting. So, Steve's
This is kind of
flipping a
music.
coin. Wow. Steve doesn't know. Doesn't know what he's going to do. WrestleMania 17, our top seed. Does it make it all the way to the championship round, or is it get dethroned by WrestleMania 30?
I just think we're at the point where there's maybe more iconic moments. I don't know. I'm like,
All right.
literally, I'm not going to be mad either way.
All right, 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left to vote. We'll throw it on the clock as we get down to our last. We said
You
17?
said 17.
Because I'm going 30. I'm going 30.
So then
So we're split. So we're split. We go to the higher seed. And the higher seed, WrestleMania 17,
Yeah.
is going to advance all the way to the finals.
Hmm.
Sorry, WrestleMania 30. Had a good run. Magical run to the Final Four.
Magical.
But you are cut off. Unbelievable.
I thought you loved him, Steven.
Yeah. Democracy.
I know. On this podcast, democracy wins.
It does.
Don't get me on a tangent about how shitty U.S. politics are.
All right, Nikki. We are in our last Final Four matchup.
Yes.
This is an interesting one. Our 7th seed. This is where our 7th. 24. Wait, no, that's not right.
Just say the match.
It's a Steve Austin, Shawn Michaels. That's not right. How did that happen?
It's 14.
Yeah, we just did 14.
Wait, I'm very confused about you doing this remotely.
Hold on. Oh, wait, no. Sorry. I didn't advance them.
Lord.
Sorry. I'm updating the brackets as we go. And we are now, if I recall correctly, we're actually in our finals.
We should be.
So we are our final 2 matchups. How did this happen? This is crazy. Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels made it to the finals. WrestleMania 14.
Mm-hmm. First.
Our top seeded WrestleMania 17 Stone Cold made it to the finals twice. WrestleMania 17 Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock, the heel turn, versus Stone Cold's inauguration, you want to call it the against Shawn Michaels. It's our final matchup.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going HBK Shawn. HBK Austin. I like that much better. I'm sorry. I don't. Rock does nothing for me. And I'm sorry. I know 17 is what we live and breathe and die on. But I like Austin HBK better.
So, according to our seeds here, our number 7, or no, not number 7, number 14 seed. Yeah, the finals. So, which one is our final winner?
Well, I said 14. Reese is saying 17. What do you and Steven and anybody else?
Let me get
please
some.
chime
I'm
in?
chiming in on the comments here. Sorry, I'm catching up. Reese still think Mania 17, 14 was, yeah. I mean, well, that's the idea. It's going to get harder and harder as you get down to the end. And our top seeded WrestleMania 17 is Reese's vote. This is tough for me. Because, again, it's like we're talking about personal preference. I'm going 14.
14's everything to me. I'm sorry. I know 17's life. I know 17 should be life.
Wow. Steven voting 17.
What's the higher?
The tiebreaker, unfortunately, ironically, the anticlimactic, but our winner, when it's all said and done, 17. Is our top seeded WrestleMania 17 as voted on by the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour,
We did it, kid.
wins our WrestleMania Madness tournament. It's very rare that the top seed usually ends up. I thought there was some shenanigans all along the way, that there might be a couple upsets. But, yeah. Reese chime in. The thing about 17 makes it special is that this match should also have never happened because Steve Austin's injury.
Yeah. True. Very true.
Fair enough.
Our dog is hardcore
That's how we know we're having
snoring
a show.
behind us.
But yeah, our winner of March WrestleMania Madness, and this would be fun because we could do this again next year. It could change year to year as we get more and more of the community chiming in into the chat. So very, very interesting. Nikki, any surprises for you?
No, there's things that were not, again, like the ones that we had the problem with. Like, I wish Becky, Charlotte, Ronda went further. But again, a tough. Again, I think it's the seeding, and like I think things could have went farther, but they were up against tough opponents. But I guess that's how these brackets work.
Yeah, I thought I'm surprised that the Hulk Andre didn't get further. But again, like because of the fact that it was up against
Don't give
a
a shit
juggernaut.
about Hulk Hogan.
You know, it happens. So very interesting, fun little game concept here we're trying out. Nikki, you want to see? I want to get some opinions of our little community out
We
there.
can.
So,
I'm gonna run upstairs and use the facilities. But
yeah, you want to take a little? Yeah,
you hit the call thing, Steven. Let's talk. I'm gonna use the facilities.
Plug her out. So we'll open up the phone lines and here. She's trying to get me drinks at the bar. No, we have fully stocked here. Good time for me to refill here. But we'll open up the phone lines as this is a different concept that we haven't. Well, we started to try this out last year a little bit, but now we've opened it up a little bit more to the whole WrestleMania main event. So let me just chime in here. Where's the link? Copy. We'll put the call-in link here in the chat so you can all chime in and let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking, what your personal favorite main event, WrestleMania main event is. That's what we want to hear. But yeah, did you like anything in particular? Like, again, I keep thinking about WrestleMania 40. I thought, because it just sticks in my mind from last year, that generally it would be goes far. I thought it might have been in the final, at least final four, maybe final two. But get the comments here. If Vince swapped Brett versus Austin to the main event, that would have been the greatest WrestleMania event. That's the greatest match. Yeah. True. Yeah. It's interesting about Bret Hart and Stone Cold is that like they had a feud for a bit, and I felt like it didn't get anywhere near as big as it could have been. And maybe it was because like Nikki and I were watching a lot of we watched a lot of the Attitude Era stuff, but like it felt like he was getting phased out of WWE. Period. Like his type of wrestler wasn't what WWE was eventually going toward with the Attitude Era. It just didn't fit in, so he had to go to WCW. Like I don't know, just at the time, like I think he got the most. Like I would argue, to some extent, you could say that Owens' feud with Stone Cold probably did more for him than the Bret feud, right? Like obviously the broken neck, everyone remembers, but like I don't know, maybe that's why. But it's interesting. Does there to be too much? Yeah, for sure. But I think they were, obviously, like hindsight, you knew that they were moving on from Bret. Like Vince wanted to move on from Bret, so just another one of the big names that went to WCW during that whole time. So, but yeah, there's a lot. Like you notice a lot about like this card, the WrestleMania card in general. it's like a lot of the same names year over year, right? You see a lot of like the John Cena from 2010, 05, whatever, to 2020. You know, you see a lot of the same Hulk Hogan in the early 90s. So it's just interesting how they built up stars, and you know who stayed at the top of the card. Stone Cold, right? Stone Cold's at the top of the card almost every year. The Rock, same thing. But that being said, we're gonna open up the phone lines as Nikki gets all settled here, as I like to say on the show. So there's a StreamYard link. It's in the chat now. It's not in the description. So chime in there, click the link, let us know what you're drinking, what you're thinking about this WrestleMania March Madness Main Event Madness bracket that we created here for you all. Welcome back in, Nikki.
Hello.
We want to hear from all of you. What was your favorite WrestleMania main event? As we discuss this bracket, we appreciate you all joining us here and chiming in with your votes. Your vote matters. Nikki?
Yes.
Mellow Blondie? Hit the snare. All right, Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
Phone lines are open. We want to hear what you're drinking, what you're thinking. Let's open with a regular. You've been chiming in, casting his vote. His vote matters. All of your votes matter. Nikki?
Say his name and he appears.
I believe in Steven.
Yes!
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Sunday fun day.
How are you, my dear?
I'm dandy. How are you guys?
Doing great.
Living the dream.
As
Playing
always,
wrestling, drinking with our friends. I can't complain.
this is true.
So, Steve, what are you drinking? What are you thinking? WrestleMania Madness.
I just am having a big gulp today. Just about empty with all the ice melted and stuff. And honorable mention to the matches, the main events that did not make the bracket. Like, Savage DiBiase and Savage Hogan the following year, depending on, Hogan Slaughter, that probably wouldn't have made it out of the first round.
Agreed.
Hogan Slaughter would have got slaughtered.
Probably so, yeah. And more recently, KO and Sammy versus the Usos. And this feels like it's becoming like the in memoriam section that they do at all the awards shows. Drew Brock, I guess, would be another one.
Mm-hmm.
That's if that match existed and took place at all. La, 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 la.
Yeah, nothing ever happened.
A blur.
There was no Mania that year. Vacant.
So, Steve, did anything surprise you? All right, let's start. What was your favorite WrestleMania main event? If you did this bracket, what was your number one? What got to the end?
Oh, I don't really want to succumb to recency bias with 40 because that was obviously Heyman obviously had a hand in producing that match somehow, even if they don't give him official credit for it, because that was mapped out just like one of the classic ECW matches. with the run-ins. I mean, they all have run-ins, but the run-ins occurring the way that they did, the lights out entrance from Taker, and of course Heyman being right there and taking place in Philly. That just hit a lot of spots for me. I don't feel it's right that I should take that though as the favorite. And WrestleMania 4 has some sentimentality to it because that's one that I saw when they were still doing the closed circuit broadcasts over at the Rutgers Athletic Center. That's why 2 holds a special spot for me.
Mm-hmm.
But that one technically had 3 main events.
Yeah.
And for me, the real main event was the British Bulldogs versus Valentine and Beefcake. With Ozzy at ringside.
Probably a better match, to be honest.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was, and I think the Bulldogs were my favorite at the time. Dynamite Kid in particular.
Yeah.
I hear he's a bit of a prick, but I didn't know that back then.
Rumors.
Yeah. Always rumors, but I can understand trying to advance the historical significance of I can't remember what number it was, 35, the triple threat ladies match. It just the match should have been better. I mean, and this is out even outside of the botched ending. Which is probably just as well because the audience was probably pretty PO'd at that point. 7.5 hours one night. Not that was the fault of anybody in the ring, but so I can understand that losing out.
I just and that's the thing. It was up against Cody Rhodes. It was like, this is his finishing his story, but also this is also significant. They're finishing her story. Becky was skipping everything.
Yeah, I think if the seating was different, which now we can officially blame AI for, like you said, I may have selected the ladies match to go a little further, and I did select Bianca and Sasha.
Clara.
That was one that was a lot better.
Yeah.
Next year we'll do a better job of seating.
I know, Nick.
Well, I tried to make it as listen. I didn't have the full complement in the production meeting as usual, or as ever. So I had to do with only what one mind can do. So I did do my best. So
one mind and ChatGPT.
Exactly.
I'm better than you, and
but
you know
overall,
it.
17. 17 is kind of regarded as the best Mania ever. It depends who you talk to. So the main event from that, it kind of tracks that the main event from that could be considered the best main event. I get it. I don't know what I would choose. I mean, 30 did hit pretty hard for me, and that was a tough one. Between 30 and 17, is I love the underdog, and I thought they were going to find a way to really screw Bryan out of the finish that he got, that he was deserving of at that point, because he earned it.
Yeah,
he earned the right. I know he didn't keep the belt that long afterwards, but he absolutely earned it.
I've been looking at the bracket as you're saying this now, because they're grabbing it. But if that didn't, I think because that was the 4 seed. So Daniel Bryan, the triple threat, Orton, Batista, 30 against WrestleMania over Austin Michaels, WrestleMania 14, or Roman Cody 2. Would that triple threat? I don't know if I could put it over Roman Cody 2, but I could have that triple threat beating. First off, I probably could have that triple threat beating. I don't know if I did it this way, but WrestleMania 17. I could potentially have that. Again, it was the moment. I could see the case. I could also see it beating, Austin Michaels, and I could see it. I don't know if I could put it ahead of WrestleMania 40. So just to reiterate, our final four was WrestleMania 17, Austin Rock. WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton versus Batista. WrestleMania 14, Austin versus Shawn Michaels. And then WrestleMania 40, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Tip.
I did not care for that 14 match. I mean, that was I understand, they had to kind of get in and out as cleanly as possible with Shawn, not really being healthy at that point. So I get it, and they did the best they could. I just don't think it was that great. Like it was okay, good. I don't think there was a lot of. I think it was a foregone conclusion who was going to win. I don't think there was any mystery to it. And I didn't feel that Austin was in danger of losing. Whereas with 40, even though, we kind of figured Cody was going to, walk away with the victory, I still felt there was a chance that he was going to lose. Even though with 50-50 booking, just on the same event. I mean, he lost the day before.
Yeah.
In the tag match, he took the pin. So, yeah. I mean, if the winner is a foregone conclusion and that comes to pass, that's a negative mark for me. And I didn't think there was any that Shawn was going to win that particular match.
True.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point, Steve. Steve, before we let you go here, your last shot.
My last shot. Okay. Well, we can add 2 more to the list if we want to do this again next year. And also, you could make a whole other smaller bracket of maybe is that should have main evented but didn't.
Yeah.
Limit to that. Greatest match in history, just on its own, but just matches that they didn't main event, but they should have.
Yeah, I like that, and I also brought up to Nick like doing opening matches, like what opened the pay-per-view, because I was 34. That was Miz, Seth Rollins, Finn for the IC belt. That was like blew out everything out from that card.
That was good. And Sheamus, Daniel Bryan, 18 seconds. Good. Let's move it along, people. Let's move it along.
The card was bullshit too. So. We got a lot to think about and discuss.
Yeah. And wasn't Bret Owen an opener?
Yeah. Yes, it was. It was a fucking great match.
Steve, you're making so much more work for me right now. Just make
you got a year, baby.
You got a year. You can do SummerSlam main events in a few months.
I'll do my research. You know how I do that?
I drank a beer. I drank another beer.
And how do you do that?
3 beers. 4 beers. Oh no. 5 beers. Oh no. 6 beers.
I'll leave it at 6. 6 is fine.
Oh my goodness.
Research.
I love you immensely.
Steve, well put. Salute you. Pleasure as always. Ladies and gentlemen, Steven, you sir are cut off. Well done. I know. The stat man. Nikki, one more.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Our new friend.
Fastly becoming a regular on the show. From overseas. I'm trying to think of a fun nickname. And like,
don't.
Oh man, you're gonna hate it. You're gonna hate it.
We're both.
You hate all my nicknames.
Yeah. No, don't.
But it's a good one.
Don't.
I can't say it. I can't say it. All right. All right.
Don't.
Don't worry, it's coming. An intro's coming, and it's coming. It's coming soon.
I'm trying to save your race.
Ladies and gentlemen, he chimed in last week. He's quickly becoming the newest regular on the Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. Let's bring him in from the weekly steel chair. Friend of the show from overseas, Reese.
Hello.
Hello there.
Reese, welcome back in. What are you drinking? What are you thinking, my friend?
A bit of culture.
Fancy.
Look at that. So Reese, what do you think about WrestleMania March Madness or Main Event Madness? We're calling it. We have multiple names for this.
I think the concept's fun. I think it's in terms of the inclusion in the direction of it. I like it. I also agree with Steve-O about the ChatGPT kind of ruining it a little with some notable main events being knocked out. I mean, one of the best main events that wasn't included, I agree, was Savage versus DiBiase. I absolutely agree with that. It should have been, but again, AI has its own thing, which is why it's irrelevant. But absolutely, I concur on that statement, and I agree with matches that should have been main events should have been included, because I stand by it. Brett versus Austin is the greatest WrestleMania match of all time, and it would have been the greatest WrestleMania main event. Okay. And I think if Vince had a pair of nuts between his legs and he had a brain that actually worked, the only match that I think could maybe rival that match in particular, apart from Mania 17, I would have said Rock versus Hogan would have probably been the greatest WrestleMania main event as well, potentially, if that had been put, because that should have been that main event as well, because that was Hogan's return to Skydome.
Yeah. What a bit! I mean, like that. Just the moments that those two had, and like Jericho and Triple H had to follow that up. Like, sorry, like good luck.
They're telling that now there's this new segment in the Hall of Fame. It's like, moments, and the first moment is Austin Brett, because that match should have been invented. That match is such a iconic moment. It's
the match that birthed the Attitude Era. People say, it was DX that created the Attitude Era. In my opinion, the whole Attitude Era started from Bret Hart. Mm-hmm. I think Bret Hart, the way he, I think if you look at it in chronological order, for me, the Attitude Era started when Bret pushed Vince inside the steel cage, like that one promo, and it led to Mania. I think that entire thing, and obviously Bret versus Taker at SummerSlam, that's more of a moment than Montreal, even though Montreal obviously was a big landscape change. But if it wasn't for that match...
Are you talking about the Shawn Michaels steel chair? Is that the special referee moment? Yeah. That's an interesting one. Yeah, because bringing that up, when you compare it to the screw job, that's an interesting
I think it's bigger than the screw job, personally. I think it's bigger.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept. I don't know.
I think that as good as the moment is, I think the Montreal screw job is just an overrated moment. Whereas I think the steel chair at SummerSlam has more of an impact, because the commentary as well is brilliant. On the commentary, you say the only way Brett can win is if Michaels counts the fall. But then the whole thing is, they built it the whole time. This is the greatest wrestler alive versus the greatest champion. Because that's what it was. It was Heart versus Soul, but the words were, this is the greatest champion. And that says a lot. This is your custodian of your organization up against the one wrestler you don't want to lose. Because nobody at the time wanted to lose Bret Hart. He is the greatest for a reason. So I think it says a lot about the moment. But yeah, for me, the Attitude Era, all the credit, in my opinion, should go to Bret Hart, not Steve Austin, or it shouldn't go to Shawn Michaels. I think they're great parts of the Attitude Era. But I think Bret Hart is where it came from, because if you look at it, it was Bret was the first person to ever lay his hands on Vince, and he was the first person to reference Vince as the owner of WWE as well.
True.
So there's an interesting concept. I just So like there's things. Well, so now it's like going back to like and bringing it back to like even the madness thing. Like our opening matchup was right WrestleMania 15 and WrestleMania 17, like the original Stone Cold Rock versus 2 years later. And it's like, do you kind of to your point, like do you like the original? Like if Bret Hart was the first to do it, do you view him that much as the pioneer, or do you view the person who came after him, maybe like Stone Cold, whoever, who took it to the next level as the person who ascended it to a whole other level that it couldn't go to? Like it's a great debate. It's like, I was the first to do it, or I don't want to say it, like, but the best to do it, whatever, it's that concept.
It came from it, but what it led to was even better, and I think that's the whole point. I think that's what makes the moment.
Yeah.
No, that's a fair point. Yeah, like it spawned how many other characters like that came off of that era. So yeah, that's a fair point. Reese, so what would have been your WrestleMania main event? What would have been if you had to did this bracket? Like your number one, you think getting through is it X7 or is it another one? Is it Bret Hart, Shawn?
I just like the match because it's like people say, "Oh, well, the actual match itself isn't a story," and I was like, "Well, it is because it's literally the two best. It's arguably the two best ever. Trying to see who is actually going to win with a specific time limit that hasn't been done because obviously like the NWA were doing 45 and 60-minute matches. That's because they were far better athletes. But this was the first time you'd done a 60-minute match with just two people in one company that had never done it before and were the best conditioned to do it. So it made more sense. But I love this match. It's in my top 5 for Mania matches. It's in my top 5, but my favorite main event is still X7. It has every single moment that matters to an era, a culmination of an era as well, and that's what makes it special.
That's fair. I get to, yeah. It's just I think just like as like like a restaurant you see. I think looking back at it now, like when you talk to a lot of wrestling fans say like who've seen or have a glimpse of like the Bret Hart HBK stuff, it's like, oh well, people don't. It's a snooze fest because there's only one pin that you get to see, and but that's what, especially at that point in time, what wrestling was. So like
exactly, yeah. And it's hard, and you got to bear in mind as well that like for the whole match, you still get the element of is Michaels going to tap out to the sharpshooter? Will Shawn Michaels hit the super kick? But you didn't get the sharpshooter. If you look at the entire Iron Man match, you never got the sharpshooter until the final minute. You went a full 59 minutes and 15 seconds without the sharpshooter.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it great. But then you get 2 super kicks in sudden death. The one was just a shock moment, but the other one really is the kill shot.
Yeah.
So like, that's what makes that match special. A lot of people say it's overrated, and I get that. It is a little bit, but what isn't overrated these days?
Yeah.
But I still think it's a great wrestling match. I don't even think it's their best match together, but it's one of my personal favorites.
Yeah, it's just like the you went through it. It's an old school wrestling match, but like it went so much longer. You could see at the end, like even just like I remember like the icon, like the pin. He was just like he hits him with the super kick. He just falls over on him and like bends him over because they're both so exhausted. Like that's the idea of what it should be. Like WrestleMania match, a main event should be like that. You're the best, two best wrestlers in the world, beating the hell out of each other till the final minute until someone has to get the pin.
And I think this is probably. I think this is probably the best match Jerry Lawler ever called, in my opinion, because I just like his commentary in Sudden Death when he says, "You'll never see anyone beat Shawn Michaels to their feet after a super kick," and then Bret actually beats him to his feet, which I think is really well done. Like, it's a brilliant line, and I'm like, how can you not like this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, Reese, you're selling me on this one. Man, if you called it earlier, this might have waited all the way to the finals.
This would have been my final 2. Like anyway, unless obviously 13 was actually Hart versus Austin and 18 was Rock versus Hogan. That would have been my fight. That would have been my proper final four if they had been all main events.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's good to see Edge versus Taker gets flowers though. That's an incredible main event.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember much.
No, I tried to. I got shut down.
And he tried. She tried. She tried her best.
Mm.
Unfortunately. Reese, before we let you go, we'll give your last shot and let everyone know. I know you got your own podcast. Let everyone know where you can find it.
Weekly Steel Chair on YouTube. You can find me there, folks. Anyone's welcome at any time, including you, Per. You're both welcome. My last shot for me, Bret Hart being the first three-time Hall of Famer proves why he's the greatest wrestler of all time.
Oh,
Wow. Well done.
Reese.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Love
Reese
you.
from the Weekly Steel Chair. We're going to have to get an intro for him. I got some ideas, Nikki. I don't know if you're going to like them.
Oh my
You hate all
God.
my ideas. But
I do. But I love you. Love your face. Cute little face.
just a new regular to the show, you know?
I know. Oh my God. Love it. Love him immensely.
He's a real ring-a-ding-dong dandy. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Nikki,
Yeah,
what a
baby.
great one. This was
Oh
fun.
my God, this has been so debates, topics, things. So
Ultimately,
winner is 17.
yes, our winner
Official
Of
winner
our-
is 17.
WrestleMania Madness poll. Congratulations. You are number one seeded WrestleMania 17, Stone Cold versus The Rock.
Feelings, but I love this match. I understand this match, but I feelings about it.
Thanks, Reese. Always a pleasure having you.
Love you, kid. We have such a great, like, Steven and Josh and everybody, John, Lisa, Ed.
Exactly. For wrestling, when you can debate, discuss is the best way. Having fun.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what the show's all about.
And I said that I was like, I just want you to be in our basement, talk to you about wrestling, have a cocktail, and make some friends. That's all I want to do. That's my 3 favorite things: wrestling, you, and the cocktail.
The things you love with the one you love.
Yes. So please, we're back here Fridays at 6.
Mhm.
We're gonna break down the week in wrestlings.
We will.
I'm gonna complain about a lot of stuff, I'm sure.
And Nikki gets very upset all week long. And then she just airs it out.
Yeah, our dog snoring in the background. My husband on this side.
So you know it's a great show. So,
A great show.
Nikki, we had another great show. Let's let our not so CCO take us out.
Thought we had a spectacular event tonight. Very excited that so far everybody seems to have come out unscathed. You know, banged up, bumps and bruises, but nobody seriously injured, which I always hold my breath on these events. You want to see people have the best outing that they can possibly have and make memories, but do it safely. And we were able to do that tonight.
Able to do that tonight.
Able to do that tonight.
And make sure before you head out, hit the old like and subscribe, the old Samoan spike on the like. But until next time, you do not have to go home. We will see you on Friday, this Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. But you do not have to go home.
But you can't stay here